right, man. Let's talk about possibility of the Lions picking up Jamal Adams. Seahawks released him. Kind of one of those guys that forced his way out of New York, wanted a bunch of money. They wasn't winning at the time, and still ain't really winning because Aaron Rodgers got hurt. But went to Seattle. He was a solid player. Seattle always like to have a couple really good safeties going back to Chancellor and Earl Thomas. They had Quadra and Jamal Adams, and still their issue was probably manufacturing pressure on the quarterback. But honestly, I think he could be a fit for what the Lions could be looking to do. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Really known as kind of that enforcer in the box. What he come from DBU, and they call it either that. It's either LSU or Ohio State. Come from LSU. Athletic guy, can get in the box, make some hits. Kind of probably be that box joker safety. Like I was specified in other videos. The problem with F.A. Melifano is that he's just never been fully healthy. Young and just unfortunate injury. So you probably want to have another safety in the box, in which they kind of do with Brian Branch. I think they can easily, especially if the Mosley signing was baffling, just because I just think if they signed him just so he could do his rehab here, he's going to be a non-factor going into next. He's a non-factor regardless as a corner. So they decided not to bring Jerry Jacobs back. But like I said, I think Cam Sutton should move to safety or be a nickel cornerback. If you have to, let's say Melifano or something go down, you can move Branch to safety. Then you can move Cam Sutton into the nickel back position. And then, whoever your corners is running. With Quadra Diggs, which I did a video about him. I don't know which order I'm going to put him up. With Diggs, he a better fit, obviously. He started off as a nickel back, 6th-round pick. Went to safety / nickel. Did a great job at that. So, with Melifano, you just don't really know about the injury history. So, but I'm pretty sure Adams and Diggs and Gardner Johnson won. And obviously Gardner Johnson was very vocal about that he wanted to go somewhere and actually start. So, he wants to start. So, I'm pretty sure Jamal Adams probably wants to go get some money and start somewhere. But, more of a, tackling box safety, probably pretty okay as coverage. But, that guy that you kind of could play as that additional linebacker inside, especially in sub packages. Let's say he pretty good at run support too. So let's say you just want to run with Jack Campbell and is only at one linebacker. You want to go out there with a DB out there, not necessarily a nickelback type or a DB, cornerback type of DB. You want to go out there with safety that can tackle and kind of do some things in coverage more so. Adams might be a great fit, kind of just subbing in there or getting in there and just being that run support safety. But the issue too, Kirby Joseph is better as the roamer. I don't know how good Adams is in man-to-man coverage because they asked F.A. Melifano and Gardner Johnson to cover safeties in man-to-man, cover tight ends and backs and certain receivers in man-to-man. And that's one thing I'm not sure Adams is great at. I could be wrong. But, always know him more of as an enforcer, coming in the box, bringing the wood in the box. But he had his injuries too. You know what I'm saying? Very vocal. Probably can kind of wear out his welcome, be how vocal he is. So he might be a guy that can fit in their rotation as well too. But what they ask of some of their safeties to play opposite of Kirby Joseph is to go man to man. Kirby Joseph struggled going man to man. He more of a robber, a roamer. In the tackling safety, in the box, with Jamal Adams, pretty much the same. He more of a box safety, probably not as good as man-to-man cover skills, and that's why, they probably drafted Brian Branch because his ability to cover man-to-man. That's why they brought in Gardner Johnson, his ability to beat man-to-man. So, you're probably looking more of a Quadra Diggs, fit opposite of a Kirby Joseph with a Melifano, but with Jamal Adams, like I said, in situations where those situations where they can run it or they can throw it, he could be very valuable. There's Will too, vocal guy, energy guy, big hitter. Him and Kirby Joseph in the back end to go crazy, good at blitzing. So, I think they could find a niche for him, but I think he and Quadra probably go somewhere and actually start. That's probably what you're looking at. They'll probably go somewhere and actually, start. Um, that's my opinion. I think they go somewhere and actually, um, that actually start somewhere. So probably not get the biggest contract, but they'll probably go somewhere and start. So that'd be interesting. And I'm not sure if Isaiah Simmons is a free agent either. That'd be an interesting fit to see, what Aaron Glenn can do. And he's one of those guys a lot of people like coming out the draft, but I think a lot of us didn't want the Lions to draft him. I think Arizona ended up drafting him. Very athletic, but we didn't trust Matt Patricia to be able to utilize him in the right, situation. I think Aaron Glenn could you find a way to utilize Isaiah Simmons. I think they asked him to do so many things that he's not being able to do one thing. So, so I think the Lions, that might be another guy that the Lions may look at. If you can ask him to come in and do one thing and be good at it, I think you have, your linebacker core, will be elite. So, but, like I said, Jamal Adams, vocal guy. I'm not sure he gonna make as much money as the market as he probably think he is. Probably around 1 year deal, 2 year deal, somewhere. Gardner Johnson, 1 year $8 million, or 2 years 15, 16 million, or something like that. But I didn't realize Quadre Diggs was only 31 years old. He's still fairly young. I'm not sure how old Jamal Adams is, but I think the Lions more likely is probably gonna draft a safety, or they're gonna turn Mosley or Cam Sutton into a safety. I don't really see them keeping Gardner Johnson. I feel they should, but I understand, he got beat out by Brian Bench from the nickelback position. And then, naturally he fell in, the opposite safety position with Kirby Joseph, and then Melifanu got healthy and came on hot. But still, you're not knowing the health behind Melifanu. You probably still want to find somebody that's very good. Because I was one of those guys who wanted Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State. But Brad Holmes seen something that Kirby Joseph, and since he wasn't starting in the lineup, since Tracy Walker went down, he really ain't looked back. I think he struggled a little bit last year because they were asking him to do some things that they was asking him to do things that Gardner Johnson and Melifanu do well, and that's cover man to man. He's not a man to man safety. He's one of those dudes that's gonna rob, roam, play his deep half of the field, and he gonna make hits. He gonna do some run support. So that's pretty much what he's a roaming ball hawk. It's not a man to man guy. I mean, he can improve in those situations. Most safeties are not great man to man. That's what makes Brian Branch. That's what made Gardner Johnson and Melifanu kind of special, that they can go man to man. But yeah, let me know what you think about Jamal Adams. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Hit the link tree. You can find me on Spotify, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, X, Instagram, Facebook. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.